You have moments or phases when you go absolutely low, almost depressing सी feeling आने लगती है, आपको लगता है आप completely off track हो चुके हो और ऐसा लगता है कुछ भी करने का मन नहीं हो रहा है, चीजें बहुत सारी हैं, there's lots that needs to be done which is on your table, on your platter, but you just don't have the energy and you don't have the whole vibe and the zeal to really execute all of that. Happens. So if that's the case, then this video is going to tell you how to get back on track. What is it that you're missing out on, especially when you go through these phases, which keeps you stuck there or which prolongs that whole off track phase and doesn't let you bounce back. Yeah, so stay on right until the end. Hi, I'm Aastha Tatia, daughter of two rock-solid pillars, mother to a lovely daughter, wife of a humor king, an engineer, MBA, corporate executive turned anchor person, now an author and a happiness coach, helping corporate leaders build deep connections and meaningful relationships in their organizations. If you're able to relate with this video, do hit the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you've not done it already. So, every time you go off track, one of the most important things that you need to do is choose yourself. And I'll tell you what it means. Choose yourself is all about going back to connecting with what is it that you stand for. Yeah, now, when we are typically in that zone where we are off track, right, where we can't just bring ourselves back to doing that work, we tend to kind of give up and we don't want to really look at anything. We think there's no way out. It's going to take time. And right now I'm just not up for it. And before we know, we've not just spent hours in that low disempowered state, but we have also multiplied the impact. We've multiplied the intensity of that feeling, plus the whole environment. And then it has impact on so many other areas. We miss out on deadlines. Then we may have a tiff with somebody. We are, the way we respond to others, a lot of other things that happen, right? But in that moment, half, or I'd say 90% of your battle is won if you can ask this one question to yourself, and that is, what is it that I really want? What is it that I'm up to? You may feel like crying in that moment. You may feel like just sitting down with your eyes closed, and you then go on thinking about what's not working, what's playing on your mind, what's causing you all that trouble. आप उसके बारे में सोचते चले जाते हो, और जब उसके बारे में सोचते हो तो और भी चीजें जुड़ती चली जाती हैं और आपको बहुत ज्यादा वो it just becomes overwhelming. But if you can, right when it starts, if you can just cut the pattern and if you can ask, what is it that I really want and what can I do right now? When you do this, you are choosing yourself, which means you're choosing your peace of mind, you're choosing your commitment, you're kind of going back to your commitment. So it's always about the only way every time you go off track to get back on track is to choose yourself, is to go back to the roots of who you are, go back to your core. This is not what you want. You don't want to spend 4 hours doing this. You don't want to spend 4 hours sulking, right? You need to remind yourself of that. Yeah. And in that moment, you can, what we also do is we pick up the phone and we blabber and give it to somebody, or if it's your workplace, then, you end up pouring it out on your subordinates or maybe your colleagues. Well, the most powerful thing is if you can really go back to who you are, if you can really go back to what is it that you are up to. Yeah, because that phase where you go off track, Could be a small trigger which has propelled you into that, or could be a massive trigger and you feel, oh my God, it's all devastating and I don't know what's going to happen. But either ways, it's not permanent. See, you're anyway going to come out of it. Now, if you choose yourself, which means in that moment you're able to bring the awareness and the consciousness to ask yourself, do I really want this? And if not, what can I do right now? What's the next step that I can take? What is it that I'm really up to? What do I want to bring my commitment to? When you ask these questions, 3, 4 questions, and you can have them written somewhere, you can have them right there for you, so that every time when you go off track, you can do this. It'll give you some access. Get up from your chair. Don't keep sitting in that chair and thinking and, wondering. No, just get up from there, ask these questions. Motion, the moment you bring motion, just changes the whole thing, it changes your state of mind. Yeah. So fundamentally, if you can go back to yourself, if you can choose yourself, it's a conscious choice that you'll have to make. Because the other option is also there, the other choice, which is your default choice of getting sucked into it and spending hours together before you know, right? That's also something that you can continue doing, but that's disempowering. That's causing you pain. So you've got to do this. Do this the next time you go off track. Yeah. Try this out and let me know right back. And I can promise you, I mean, without exception, I've seen people experiencing different things. So there's no standard outcome, but for sure, you'll have some access and a shift in the way that you are feeling, guaranteed. But for that, you've got to practice it. So bring that consciousness, have a structure ready so that you remember in that time that this is what I want to do. I want to choose myself, go back to my commitment, right? And ask those questions to myself, which will connect me back to that commitment, which will help me choose myself. Yeah. And see what happens then, right? Do write to me, let me know what happens, and also share your perspective on this. Go ahead, like this video if you were able to resonate with this, and also subscribe to the channel. I'm going to see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.